The following podcast is brought to you by the Ebb Tide Treatment Center. Many people wrestle with addiction. You don't have to. Reach out to the Ebb Tide Treatment Center, where they wish to empower each individual encountered with the support, hope, and tools required for long-term sobriety, priding themselves on providing the best possible treatment experience for you and your loved ones based on unique needs. They're committed to breaking the stigma that plagues those suffering with addiction and their families by educating and bringing awareness to the community. The Ebb Tide Treatment Center provides individual and group therapy, multiple recovery pathways for support, evidence-based clinical support, integrated aftercare social reintegration, personalized treatment planning, program addressing whole life health, and Vivitrol program, all available. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, reach out to them at ebbtidetc.com or call 844-430-4357. Hello once again, everybody, and yes, we did in fact decide to keep going despite how last week's episode ended. You are listening to AIW's The Card is Going to Change. Before we get started with the show, of course, words from our sponsors. Thanks to SmartMark Video, who takes care of all of our video needs. Head to smartmarkvideo.com, and you could purchase past DVDs or download shows through their MP4 streaming.
Please do that, because we got to pay for Arn Anderson soon.
Also, smvod.com.
Oh, there you go. All those things. Also, thanks to Angelo's Pizza, who's feeding us here today, and they also take care of you, our fans at live events at Mount Carmel. If you would like to try out some of Angelo's award-winning pizza or any of their other delicious dishes, head to Angelo's on Madison Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio. And as always, thank you to Jack Prince, who takes care of all of our graphic, apparel, and design needs. They can do all of that for you. Just head to their website, and you can take a look at their entire catalog, all the different things and options that are there for you at jackprince.com.
jakprince.com.
That's right. And that voice that you heard is none other than Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham, who will be joining us on this episode, along with his tag team partner in dedication personified, Brian Carson.
What up, Steve Guy?
And my name, as Brian just pointed out, Steve Guy, your moderator of sorts as always, and of course, the owner of AIW, John Thorne. And on this episode, as we told you we would last week, we are talking about the J-Lit 2017.
Hopefully that toast sets in on Worldwide and he doesn't interrupt so much. Weird Body is nursing him back to normalcy.
Yeah, it should be noted, although these are the guys sitting in right now, we are also probably at some point will be joined by Alex Worldwide Keller, potentially
Probably, we will be.
Weird Body, and the Bone Collector, Dominic Garrini, also on this episode. Well, let's get into this first. We gave you guys the build-up. The biggest thing going into J-Lit that entire week was, in fact, the hotel situation that we had to deal with. It kind of got resolved, despite the fact that...
Not according to my credit card statement.
Yeah, things were...
That extra $10 a room goes a long way.
It really does. But we were thankful at that point we didn't have any cancellations on the actual tournament until the day hits.
It was a little later. It was early morning.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what is going on, but Mr. Jimmy Rave said that there was a family emergency. He would not be making it, even though I had purchased him a flight and everything else. He said, sorry, can't make it.
Well, whatever that was, we wish him well.
Yes, hopefully he is getting that taken care of, whatever's going on with Mr. Rave. But there we are, fucked, with a...
One open spot.
And
Weird Body was about to find his way back into this tournament.
Weird Body almost found his way back into the tournament.
Weird Body probably caused that family emergency that Jimmy Rave had to go through to get back on the card.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Looking back for a
believe me,
spot.
I know about that. I know how weird body works.
So Jimmy Ray not able to make it. What are you thinking there, John Thorne?
Well, Jimmy Ray was supposed to wrestle Tom Lawlor. Spoiler alert.
Thanks to Worldwide.
Yeah, Worldwide and his genius, apparently. So I'm like, fuck, who can we get to wrestle Tom Lawlor? Because, like, Tom Lawlor is, coming out of the UFC, and I know he had some wrestling experience, but, you want to make sure that they're in there with somebody, you know what I mean? Like, because they're coming out of a full force world.
Yeah.
So, like, you want to make sure that they're kind of in there with, like, a veteran or something, just in case something goes awry. And then I was like, fuck. You know what? I'm gonna shoot Dan Severn a message. He lives in Michigan. That's not that far. And so I send him a message. I text him. I don't hear anything back. I get a message that says, "Call me." I say, okay.
As we've discussed before on the show, usually phone calls in the wrestling world are not for good things.
Yeah, but Dan Severn, he's old
He's
school.
the exception.
A lot of old school guys
I don't
want
see
to talk
him
to him.
sending too many Facebook messages,
That's true.
messages
That's
or
true.
text messages.
So I call him, no answer. Leave him a message, nothing, no call back. Text him, say, hey, I left you a message. He responds, call me. I call him again, no answer. Leave him another message. So then finally he calls me and I answer. And I tell him the situation, and he goes, well, you're in luck. I am somehow wide open this weekend. And, we discuss terms, and I tell him, hey, this is the situation. This is what I can do. You're going to be a surprise. And he's like, okay, just I'm in. What time do I got to be there? And I said, can you be there by 5 p.m.? He said, yep, I'm going to pack my car and I'll be on the road. And Dan Severn showed up with looking like a killer dad, dude. Polo shirt tucked in, salt and pepper hair. But that was the hard thing, was sneaking him in what I call the Ronda Rousey door.
The thing was, obviously, as people who were there know, the fun of it came actually before that. The best part about the Dan Severn thing turned out to be Dan Severn's idea on his own when he found out he was having a match with Tom Lawlor.
Right. So I explained it to him, and he goes, oh, that Tom Lawlor, he did something real funny about me once. I don't know if you ever saw it. And he starts explaining to me the weigh-in thing where Tom Lawlor dressed as Dan Severn. And I go, oh, yeah, I saw it. He goes, it would be funny if he did that again. And then I came out dressed exactly the same.
So then you tell Tom Lawlor this.
Right. And, he's in the air pretty much because he was on a red eye. He lands and he, sends a message back and he goes, are you fucking serious? I said, yeah, but I said, here's the thing. He wants you to dress like him again. He's like, fuck. Can you have somebody take me to go get hair dye? And I said, what do you need hair dye for? He goes, well, I'm not going to fucking half-ass it. So Tom Lawlor spent the whole day Friday going around town acquiring hair dye and a gray T-shirt and doing all the things that he could do to look like Dan Severn.
Trimming up the mustache.
He trimmed up the mustache. And little did he know, since Dan Severn was booked at such short notice, Dan Severn himself did not have time to go dye his hair.
That's right.
So Dan Severn had a little salt and pepper going on, and Tom Lawlor was, pure black.
But the fun for the fans when Dan Severn's music hits and they all pop thinking, here comes Dan Severn, but instead out comes Tom Lawlor. They're all pissed at that point. And then Dan Severn's music hits again, and I think from being in the ring in that moment, everybody still was pissed, thinking that Traxler was playing the wrong music.
Thinking Traxler fucked up because he always fucks up the music.
Somebody else is going to come be an asshole. And then Dan Severn comes out, and I think I got to say, so far in 2017, that might be the number 2 pop of the year in AIW.
Next to me, of course.
Next to John Thorne, of course.
Yeah, so like that's kind of the fun part when, we could have very easily gotten a graphic together and promoted this, and it would have got a lot of buzz. But like, that's part of the live experience, I think, of coming to AIW.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Let's not say Jimmy Rave's not going to be there. We got Dan Severn, which people are going to go. Like, if you announce that in advance, you don't get that fucking pop. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was like, fuck it. Like, tickets are already sold. Like, whatever. Like, who fucking cares about getting, like, some internet fucking buzz 3 hours before the show? Like, let's just fucking get a good, genuine pop. And it fucking, whatever happened in the match didn't matter. Just to get that fucking moment. That's all anybody's going to fucking remember anyway. They could have had a fucking 5-star classic. It wouldn't have fucking mattered. Because, and they definitely did not have a 5-star classic, I might add.
No. It was another same old story there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
With
Mr. Severn is he's very particular. Not exactly the best of memory on him. But it was great nonetheless. But yeah, so that was really the big change JLit weekend.
As we sit here and we're looking at the card, there are plenty of other fun things. Shawn, Shultz, Ethan Page was a fun match.
Which everybody was shocked. That was kind of we opened with that.
Right.
Because that was kind of the bracket buster coming right out. Because I think people just thought, it's a tournament. Ethan Page is the bigger name. Ethan Page is obviously going to advance in the tournament and
been absolute champ.
Saw a lot of people in the crowd as soon as the 1-2-3 happened on Ethan Page that people just like threw their brackets in the air like, oh, it's over.
And that's why we opened with it, because it's like, okay, now we're gonna set the precedent that like we're gonna do things a little bit differently. And I think that's the fun of the JLit weekend too, because anything could really happen. And like, it's not like, oh, haha, we're going to fucking do this to, like, piss off fans. It's just like, hey, like, you never know which way we're going to go. And, like, obviously Shawn Shultz he becomes a big factor in how this tournament plays out.
Right.
And that was kind of setting the tone for it, like, match 1.
And we're not necessarily going to go through all the matches here, but we're going to hit some of the fun highlights. And since they are here, one of the fun highlights was the matchup of Swoggle and Mordekai. And Dr. Dan and Brian Carson, you guys kind of got to take some part in that.
Well, before we get to that,
this
whole Mordekai thing was Swoggle's idea.
That's true. Well, and I guess before we even get to that,
I forgot that we didn't even mention that we kicked JLit weekend off at the strip club.
That's what I was just going to say. We had ourselves a fine lunch at the Crazy Horse in downtown Cleveland. Thank you for taking care of us, people there. Wonderful establishment. Food was excellent.
Food was excellent.
The food was the best part of it, Steve Guy?
Yeah, for me it was, Brian Carson.
Okay.
Shout out to my girl. I forgot her name already.
That's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to forget their names.
And they're done.
It's like
that.
Ember or something. I don't know.
Ember? I don't know.
Sure. So already we were. It was actually pretty amazing that we ended up JLit weekend profitable, despite the fact that we started at the Crazy Horse with John Thornton there.
Well, thankfully, I left all the PayPal money in my trunk before I entered the Crazy Horse. Just went in with my personal cash.
Yeah.
Which I spent way too much of.
But we were sitting there at lunch with Swoggle, the Mordekai match being his idea, and he just looks around and says, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with him.
Right. And I said, you're a fucking professional, man.
Figure it out.
That's what a fucking headhunter would say.
That's accurate.
Not what a fucking goddamn movie star would say.
Well, movie stars could be prima donnas.
Yeah, fucking. I'm really hoping that Worldwide gets into the fucking PWI 500 because Swoggle is fucking furious about this campaign. Fucking furious because he's never made it ever. He says if he makes it, he's just like gonna be fucking
irate,
so mad. So I don't think that there's a voting process for the PWI 500. But if you want to piss off Hornswoggle, a.k.a. Swoggle, FKA Hornswoggle. Tweet the official PWI Twitter account and tell them you want to see Alex Worldwide Keller in the PWI 500 this year.
That's at the Tower Skin.
Anyway, we're at the strip club.
Yeah.
And Hornswoggle.
It's a gentleman's club.
Yeah,
That's why we were there.
And dude, I'm telling you, that burger I had was excellent.
I don't remember what I had, but it was really
I
good.
think he had a turkey club or something.
Something like that. It was delicious.
But
Steve Guy is the kind of person that would get a turkey club at a strip club.
I don't think it was the turkey club. I think I actually had like chicken that I cut up or steak or something.
so
I wouldn't trust a steak, but all right.
It's delicious. I've had it there before.
So it
Go
was
on
great.
Fridays, they wrap it in
I
bacon.
spent about 120 bucks in there, just on burgers, of course. And Swoggle was very nervous about this Mordekai match.
He was very nervous.
Very nervous.
As soon as when I saw him at the when he got to the venue, we were putting up the ring. I walked up and I said hi to him and everything, and he's just like, "You got any ideas?" I'm like,
Well, when I get there after working all day, I get there and Swoggle goes, all right, I got this plan.
Yeah. It's like when Dr. Dan shows up, he's like, okay, we got everything planned, everything's cool. Like I see him and he goes, what the fuck are we gonna do? I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I'm not in the match. Like I don't fucking know what we're gonna do.
But you are the match. I mean, this is the guy.
He was terrified of that fucking.
Yeah, he's like, do you have any ideas? Like, no, I don't know, man. Like I'm down for whatever. You know me.
I mean, he can't be taking bumps anymore.
He was terrified of that fucking cross fucking power bomb.
Which we'll get to that in a minute.
Terrified.
But we
of
get
it.
there and he's like, all right, I got these 2 wooden crosses. I want to break one today and one tomorrow, but I want to wrap one in barbed wire.
This is Mordekai.
This is
saying
Mordekai.
Yes.
And I'm just like, all right, well, let's figure out how we can break one now. With the barbed wire, though? He's like, oh, we'll save that. Don't worry, that's decorative. It's a symbol.
So, what about? Because at one point during this match, Swoggle gets thrown outside
Oh God.
to you guys.
Talk about he wasn't like scared that we weren't.
He
Gonna
doesn't
catch
like
him,
heights.
but he just said,
Right.
"Please." He was like, "Please catch me," and he's like, "Also, I'm bottom heavy. You just gotta like make sure you catch
No
my
shit.
legs."
I'm like a small
Yeah,
cannonball.
he's like, "Just make sure you catch my legs, and everything else will be fine." We're like, "Dude, we got you. Like, don't worry."
You guys are really fucking exposing the biz here. Hogan would be furious if this was Carson.
It's got that bonnet.
We were there. We caught him. It was all good. As soon as we come down on the ground, he pats us both on the head and goes, thanks.
You guys saved the day. So, what about this crucifix power bomb?
Well, we had this idea where he would hit Carson at one point, and then he would pick me up for the power bomb and power bomb me on top of Brian.
Okay.
And he
Seemed logical, you know.
reluctantly was like, all right, you know what? That's a good idea. We'll do it. And then later on, we're about 3 minutes from going out to the curtain. He goes, you know what? I'm just going to hit you with your lacrosse stick a couple times, and I'm just going to kick Carson. I go, you sure? He goes, yeah, I don't want to give you that power bomb. I'm like, I'll get up there however you want me to, get up over your shoulders. We'll be fine. He goes, nope, not going to do it. I'm just going to hit you a couple times.
He's like,
We're going to save it for night 2.
He's like, "I'm gonna give it to him tomorrow night, so don't worry about it tonight."
Got to make him come back for something. Then he proceeds to hit me with my lacrosse stick as hard as he possibly can. And I was not ready for that whatsoever.
It was a sight to behold, that entire thing.
Dude, I was at the thorn position, aka the bar
Right?
area, and fucking Mordekai hit Hornswoggle so fucking hard with his garbage can. Like,
That's right.
it was full to the that garbage
Brawl
can.
around the entire area.
That garbage can, like, no joke, must have weighed 20 pounds, and he fucking waffled him right in the head with it. I fucking lost my mind. He hit him so fucking hard, and, like, then just was like, looked at me, and he was just like, think I saw that one in TNA. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know what that means. But he hit him so fucking hard. I was dying laughing.
What about?
I fucking hope Gary fucking captured that on fucking video, because, dude, he fucking hits him
drilled him.
fucking hard. Like, I can't even begin to describe how fucking hard it is. He got hit right in the fucking head.
What about when that entire? I enjoyed the fact that our stage guys let the whole thing fill up with the fog before Mordekai came out. It was like, man, that was the most legit. Yeah, that was one of the most legit entrances I think we've ever had there at AIW.
Shout out to Dave and Craig.
Stage guys.
So that was that match. Other fun we had there, Colt Cabana and Space Monkey, I think is worth noting.
The whole fucking show's worth noting, pal.
But I mean, as we break things down here, that was a fun one where like everybody always obviously points out Space Monkey does his banana spots and whatnot, but this time we get Subway thrown in there. And these two
Colt Cabana loves Subway.
He does.
And that's
So
just
we have
just general knowledge.
the
that he
Subway and
enjoys Subway
banana
sandwiches.
getting eaten back and forth.
But the best is he literally goes up to Niall Parker Pierce and goes, "Hey, this is my order," and hands him a piece of paper and goes, "Go up to that Subway and go get me it right now." And this is 5 minutes before bell time. It's right at the gimmick tables.
Joey Janela and Laredo Kid. That was just pure.
Laredo Kid earned fucking second life on night 2.
That he did. That always craziness. Speaking of craziness, Super Crazy and Matt Cross. So we finally get to that match. What a I don't know how to explain that. Spectacle. A lot of fun.
Explain it for me, Steve.
Well, Grandma Cross, perhaps the most over thing in AIW wrestling right now.
She fucking, you know what's over is her fucking beer sales. That's over with me. She buys a lot of beer.
She's a regular at the ticket booth.
Yeah, she buys a lot of beer tickets.
I thought that she was.
Hurts quite a bit.
I thought she was going to punch Super Crazy at one point when he was over there.
Yeah, fucking right. She should have.
But that match was a lot of fun, I think, to watch. Obviously, all the flips that you wanted, but to see
It was a good match to end the night on because everyone was all into it. Possibly because of Grandma Cross, but
The show didn't end on that.
show
though.
didn't end on that.
wasn't the
though.
main event?
No, sir.
What was that first half?
The
That's
last
the first half main event.
There we go.
Yeah.
Really quick, I think the best part of that match, besides obviously you said the spectacle, was the whole crowd chanting "Abuelo," which is Spanish for grandmother.
The man who started that, infamous Kenny Wang Yang.
Oh, Kenny Wang Yang.
Kenny Wang started chanting
The number
Abuela.
one Joshua Bishop fan, Kenny Wang Yang.
Fluent in Spanish, is he?
Chanting Abuela.
He drops it.
Kenny Wang Yang, man, a fucking legend. I think we might set up the podcast.
Oh, good lord.
We might set up the podcast equipment for Kenny Wang Yang at an after party one
An
of these
after
days.
party?
That's never,
God,
that
that is-
episode will never air.
Yeah, he says a lot of shit you shouldn't say in public.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or at all, ever.
Or ever.
So
No human should ever utter some words he says.
while you guys are here, your nemesis also involved in a match there in round 1 in J-Lit. Mike Tolar taking on Britt Baker.
Oh, yes. That was definitely a match that happened. The Duke got interfered a little bit.
It's a match that happened.
The match did happen, yes. We'll go into more of you guys interfering in Britt Baker's matches on
We'll go
night
into
2.
more matches that happened.
Yeah. But while we bring up Mike Tolar and the Duke, there's another guy sitting here next to you, Dr. Dan, so we might as well bring him over. He also was a part of J-Lit Night 1. Mr. Dominic Garrini, you got to wrestle another ECW legend.
Hold on, how much do you love the Duke?
If I had to piss on the Duke, if he was on fire, I wouldn't even do that. I would let him burn.
Wow. That's the Duke 1279, by the way, on Twitter.
How many Twitter followers does the Duke even have? Like 17?
Still, I tell you what, the numbers don't lie, and he has record low numbers on this podcast, and our numbers have not recovered since the 2 weeks with the Duke.
Even
400. His reach is 400 people.
even Missy Hyatt says numbers are down.
Yes.
Missy Hyatt knows, and the Duke says I did not properly promote his appearance, and that is the cause of the record low numbers.
Oh, I
He
don't know
says
about that.
he says I sabotaged my own podcast numbers. So this is how crazy the Duke is.
Yeah, we're
This is-
businessmen here, pal.
I'm sorry, Duke, that your softball buddies must not be big podcast listeners.
Oh, my.
Yeah. The Duke says I have sabotaged my own podcast.
They don't-
in order just to have that he had low numbers.
Hey, he did get recognized at Comic-Con one year, so I mean...
Yeah, you can't
He's gonna
download a
be-
podcast on a flip phone, I think.
He's gonna be pissed that I fucking moved the absolution date to July 22nd just because he booked his flight to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Can't wait till he hears that and finds out. Let's not tell him until he hears it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Alex Worldwide Keller here to tell you about Thrift Store Jobber. He's got a doozy of one for you this week. It's a fiery boy, Fuego, if you habla de Espanol. That's right, it's Kane, bearer of pain. The rhyme is so on time, and let me tell you something straight out of 1998. For $30, size large. Large will fit anybody that you know, even you, if you believe in yourself enough. Now, let me tell you people something. If you want to get this thing for 10% off, you go to @ThriftStoreJobber on Instagram, Etsy, or eBay, and by God, you put in the promo code WORLDWIDE. That's worldwide. And you get 10% off. So you get this righteous next level cane shirt, this fucking goal shirt for 10% off, Pally. That's $27. Find out. Worldwide at Thrift Store Jobber.
But Dom, you got to have a match with Uncle Guido.
Oh yeah, Uncle Guido, who we for a little bit there, Thorne thought might not be making it.
Oh yeah, fuck, I forgot about that. He fucking got to the airport at he had a 9 a.m. flight, I believe. He sends me a picture of a fucking draft beer at 7 a.m. Says I'm kicking off the J-Lit weekend right. Texts me, flight delayed. Sends me more pictures of beers. I'm supposed to get on my flight at 11. More pictures of beers. Flight delayed again. 1 o'clock. My flight delayed. 2, he calls me. He says, Do you want me to still come? They're saying that I could get there by 7:30 or maybe 6:30. Do you want me to come or do you want me to go home? Because I've been drinking all day. He goes, I thought I was just gonna, have a couple and then get on the plane.
Well, he always thinks that.
I said, of fucking course I want you to still come. He says, all right. So then he goes, I'm boarding the plane. Okay, they deboarded me. Should I still come? I said, yes, still come if you could come. He says, they're offering vouchers. I said, I don't give a fuck about those vouchers. I want you to come. So he finally gets on a fucking flight, and he gets there at, doors were open by the time he finally landed.
Yeah, we opened doors right at 6:30.
I think he got there at 7 or 7:30.
Yeah.
But he did make it, thankfully.
Yes, Guido made it. He came downstairs, and in pure Uncle Guido fashion, he goes, okay, Dom, give me a second. Let me change, and we'll start talking this over. We then just discuss a couple of things, and he goes, Dom, I'm an old man. I'm a pretend shooter. You're a real shooter. Just don't hurt me. And I just go, Guido, you were trained by Billy Robinson, so I'm pretty sure you can hold your own.
Yeah, Guido really fucking he really
undersells himself.
Yeah, he really undersells himself.
The man that will undersell himself the most in the professional wrestling world is probably little Guido. This man who, if you've listened to him discuss his training in professional wrestling and the UWFI shoot style, literally got tortured through hell to learn how to become a grappler, and then he'll just it's not that much.
Yeah. He probably had the most hardcore training of anybody fucking in the world, outside of some fucking, old school Japanese dojo shit. And he explained to me his training was just they flew him to Nashville and they just would beat him up every day. And he got his UWFI contract because he was the only guy that didn't go home and just kept coming back because they said that they would eventually pay him money. So he kept showing back up to get beat up every day, and he started in a group of guys, and then he was the only guy that was there still coming every day because everyone else couldn't handle getting beat up, and they were like, all right, you're going to Japan, you're in the UWFI, your name is James Stone. And he was like, I didn't fucking know, they just said that they're gonna pay me, so I just kept going every day and get beat up.
Yeah, I mean to put that into a martial arts term, it'd be like being a white belt in jiu-jitsu and having a bunch of dudes just never teach you anything. It'd be like, hey man, come back tomorrow so I can rip your arm off or choke you unconscious. That's pretty much how Guido explained to me and anybody else how his training went, which to me that seems like a personal hell.
Yeah, and that's pro wrestling training. That ain't no fucking pro wrestling training you get these days, dude. So Guido definitely undersells the fact that he could fucking probably kill somebody.
Plus, he might be the most in shape 50-plus-year-old man of all time.
I was going to say the other thing he undersells is what kind of shape he's in.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's like fucking in phenomenal shape.
Yeah, we've got boys on the roster that are 30 years younger than him. Not in that
Did you
shape.
see when he went on that vacation to fucking Universal Studios and got in trouble for just walking around with no shirt on? Check that Twitter out, dude. He was just fucking popped that top right off. Was just fucking trying to get on the fucking Spider-Man ride.
But yeah, that was essentially a lot of the Guido experience. Besides him doubting himself, he did have a great idea, and when it comes out on Smart Mark, it probably will already be out by the time this comes out, where we would do a amateur wrestling exchange, and then we would do the top-bottom position, and he was really excited to get to do that, and I was happy to oblige him. I was really excited, looking forward to Guido. When I got announced for J-Lit, there were a couple of people on my wish list. One of them was Guido, so I was extremely excited to get that match, Steve.
And it was a lot of fun to watch. You guys were just like you said,
Guido's
doing the
the
shoot
fucking
style.
goddamn best, dude.
Yeah.
He is
He
the
is.
best. If you're a promoter and you are not booking Guido, you are fucking up.
You're an
Because
idiot.
like he is the fucking best.
Yeah, just for the sake of having him there, there's really no excuse. Elsewhere on night one, we got Gringo, Loco, and Colin Delaney, which Thorne, you could speak to. We've got that fun backstory going there.
Is it fun? It's not. It's pretty. It's not
Yeah, is it
fun.
fun?
Really fun.
Well, entertaining, I guess, for fans.
Entertaining a man was tased who had a heart attack,
Listen,
Steve.
You have no soul, brother.
Who are you, the
Dead for a
Duke?
while.
well, all right.
Do you have no?
Terrible terminology.
With the Duke, and
My bad.
We got to get you a thesaurus, brother.
It's an exciting.
Dr. Dan's got to take you to Yale real quick.
It's a rivalry. It's a great rivalry.
Say shocking.
It is. Oh, it's definitely shocking.
Nice play on words,
Shocking.
weird body. Nice play on words.
Good work.
It's a little rivalry going there. Obviously, as been pointed out here by everybody else in the room, Colin Delaney shocking Gringo Loco previously for
Gringo
to
Loco
Infinity
got his
Beyond.
redemption, dude.
He got his
And
redemption.
he almost died yet again.
He did. I did
On
forget
that
about
moonsault
that.
there at the
I
end.
forgot about that.
Slipped up quite a bit, and thank goodness he survived.
He
said that was his first singles match since having a heart attack.
I believe that.
Yeah, I mean, you would never know by watching it. It looked great.
He's had I think a few scrambles since then. Obviously tag matches at AIW, but I think that was
He said that was his very first singles match. He was super nervous about it.
yeah.
But
that
he
was,
had all that adrenaline because he had been fucking tased by Colin Delaney that he just could not say no to the matchup, Steve Guy. We're making
his-
movies here.
his counterpart Steve Payne took on Alex Daniels.
Beat the fuck out of Alex Daniels, dude.
Ooh, poor Alex.
A lot of
I
chops.
think Steve Payne was a little upset that he wasn't winning that Bizelt, even though it wasn't on the fucking up for grabs
It
at
was
all.
not up for grabs.
Hey, John, is the title on the line tonight?
No. Okay, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of this guy for real then.
That's how that conversation went.
And he did.
That was the main event of night one. Yes. We also had Matt Justice and Facade on night one.
That was a fucking good throwback match. Those are like,
Yeah.
See, that was a match that I wanted, like, I put on there because, like, I feel that those two guys, for whatever reason, people have the lowest expectation of what they can do, just because, they're like old, they're kind of like veterans at this point. They're older veterans at this
Right.
point. And I just think for whatever reason, people just want to dismiss that. And I knew if I put those two together that they would be able to they would be very, very hungry to fucking stand out. And I think they did a good job.
Yeah, I agree.
Matt Justice has really fucking been on a roll, which is good for him. You know what I mean? Because he was just kind of like a dude for 10 years.
Yeah.
I think he's finally found that motivation or whatever.
Top to bottom, it is night one. I know there were 12 matches. For some people, that's very long, but if you buy the DVD on Smart Mark Video or the MP4, there's not really a match that you should skip through. There's something for everybody.
I hate these fucking fans that say it's too long, it's too fucking short. Fuck off, dude.
This one's a tournament, This one's
We're having
supposed to be
fucking
longer.
We're having fun, dude.
We're making movies, Thorne.
And then, as I talk about there being a match for everybody,
I don't put all this fucking time into this to fucking be there for 90 minutes, dude. I'm in it for the fucking night. I'm there, dude.
the last match that I had to mention on night one is a match that, to a lot of people, stole night one in general, but I think that you knew that in making it, and that was Hot Sauce Tracy Williams and Eddie Kingston.
Actually, to be honest, I did not know.
Really?
I did not know that would steal the show.
The moment you announced it, I kind of did.
I didn't, because here's the thing about Eddie Kingston. Sometimes Eddie Kingston gets into a kind of fucking cruise control mode in his matches, you know? So, like, sometimes you get Eddie Kingston and you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you get Eddie Kingston and, you know, he's fucking ready to go for it. And sometimes you get Eddie Kingston that wants to wrestle in basketball shorts.
No, I see Kingston and Tracy. They're boys, man. They came from the same school. Like,
Are they boys?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, they're both New Yorkers.
And I quote directly from the mouth of Eddie Kingston at the Absolute Shots party. JT Williams is like my little brother.
exactly, man. He's gonna
The jail at
turn
after
up.
party?
No, this would have been Absol last year.
Oh, wow. Long time coming.
Yeah, long time coming between those two guys.
See, like, I'm not sure. So, like, I like putting Eddie Kingston in these predicaments that could potentially draw out the fucking motivated Eddie Kingston.
Draw the War King back out of him.
Just
Yonkers Eddie?
no, just kind of draw. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to put him in there, and sometimes someone's got to drag it out of him, and then he could deliver better than fucking anybody in the fucking world. But, like, you got to put him in there with the right guy, and you know, I thought that might be the right guy, but I thought it could, you know, it's one or two things. Like, when you put them in there with somebody that they know, it's either going to be fucking going through the motions, or it's going to be hitting each other really fucking hard. And they hit each other really fucking hard. Like, that match well over-delivered any expectation I had.
Oh, for a solid 10 to 15 minutes, all they did was just hit each other really hard.
And, like, what was kind of great about that is, like, they both, in the fucking later part of 2016, they both had fucking amazing matches with fucking Erie, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I was hoping when I put them in there together, but, you know, it's always, and if I've learned anything, nothing in pro wrestling is fucking a sure thing. And especially nothing that like you put down on paper and you think looks good. Sometimes, you know, the fucking wrestlers have a different idea, or they fucking want to do it a different way and it doesn't work. But this match well over-delivered at anybody's expectation.
With Kingston Thorne, do you think it's like if King comes out in basketball shorts, you're not getting like that old school Kingston?
He's got to have his fucking gear on.
He's got to have the gear on, right?
Like, he's got to have his gear. Like, when he has his gear on,
You know it's gonna happen.
he wants to be a fucking pro wrestler. When he has his fucking champs basketball shorts on, you don't fucking, you know what I mean? He's going to want to brawl through the crowd and, you know, not.
He's gonna want to do like a Tupelo, Mississippi concession stand brawl.
Yeah, you know, which is fine, and those matches serve their purposes too. But when Kingston comes out geared up, he's going to give you a fucking pro wrestling match. And
Ready
he goes,
for a show.
And he goes, what do you want? I said, fucking King's Road, man. You know my shit. But, you know, you don't know what you're going to get, even though as a promoter giving that's literally the only instruction I gave him was King's Road. And they went out and they did some King's Road shit, which is fucking, like, that match, in a world that we're in today where there's a fucking match of the year fucking 3 times a weekend now, like, I highly encourage people to fucking really go by the J-Lit and watch that fucking match, and don't let that match be fucking forgotten, because it is fucking amazing, and it's something that you like. It's not like anything that you're gonna see that you see on a regular basis anymore.
Right. How you know that John Thorne is passionate about that match is that the fuck count was at about 20 there, just in describing that match alone.
I mean, fuck's a great word, Steve. I don't care. There's
It
so
is.
uses
We
for
have
it.
had-
Fuck.
I did have some criticism for saying fuck too much.
Yes,
in
there were moments where there were some complaints about John Thorne saying it too much, but old school John Thorne let that out. So night 1 ends. Just fun, great matches all around. We covered all of those there, and then we roll into the after party happening at Nax. Now I did not get to attend that because I was hanging back with the students.
You wanted to pretend to be a producer.
Hanging with the
Well,
students.
that's why I was there to make sure everything was all right, because I knew Steve Guy was staying behind.
Brian Carson was there as well.
Yeah, that's usually my job there, Brian, as the responsible non-drinker of the crew.
Well, you weren't there, so someone had to step up.
I was there.
Where?
Are we talking about the venue, or are we talking
venue.
about
Talking about the venue.
Okay, yeah. Then I still want to know why the keys weren't put back properly,
That
and I
was-
got yelled at the next morning.
And that
Oh,
was,
student heat's going on. The
and
veteran student
I
heat.
asked all of them. I said, "Who's got the keys?" Whoever said they had them said they had them, and I was like, "Good, good. I'm going." It was 3:30 at that point. I was going home.
Well, I attended the next party.
Yes,
I was
as you should.
I was the first person there, actually. I took student T. Drell, Trevor Drell.
All right.
I kidnapped him.
Woo woo kid.
I said, hey, come with me because I don't want to go alone. And he was very scared that he was going to get heat for leaving because he was going to stay. He was going to stay until the last student left because he has not debuted yet. So he did not want to get in trouble.
How are you gonna get like the only heat that really matters is the fucking owner, and if you're gonna do an owner a favor, like where's the heat coming from?
Weird body. He wants to be in the brotherhood.
He didn't want. Yeah,
Like I know Trevor's my boy, but like that's silly. That's some silly shit,
didn't
Trevor.
want-
If you're listening to this, you're being a little silly.
he did not want any of the other students or veteran students to think differently of him. So he was like, fuck, man, am I allowed to go, man? Like, is this okay? And I said, yeah, it's fine. Come with me. Because I didn't want to go alone. And we went there and, we started drinking. And we literally walked into Nax and it was like 7 old people and me and Trevor. And it's like 11:30 at night. And they're just like listening to like fucking Merle Haggard or some fucking
What's
weird
the
shit.
jukebox in working order? This is an important question.
It was in working
Something
order.
from last year. Okay, good.
It was in working order. And then, like, 20 minutes go by, and fucking people just start rolling in there, and fucking it gets packed. And Guido comes in, and he fucking buys me a shot of Jameson, which I fucking hate whiskey. Hate it. And, but you can't say no to Guido, because
Oh.
you don't want to feel like fucking less of a man.
That's rule number 1 of J-Lit. You can't
Fucking
say
Guido.
no to Guido.
And he gives me this fucking shot. And Nax fucking just serves it straight up fucking warm right off the fucking hot shelf. And I almost fucking puke fucking instantly.
That's how you're supposed to take a Jameson shot.
Fuck that, dude. I need
You don't chill that.
I need to fucking chill. So that fucking had me feeling a little fucking woozy. And then Guido kept trying to give me chicken fingers that he ordered. But then I got myself together and people start fucking rolling in. And I'll never fucking... My favorite moment at the after party is it's fucking Wall to Wall and Nax. And fucking Respect by Pantera comes on. And I just look at fucking Super Crazy, and Super Crazy looks at me, and we both start doing the RVD taunt. And I said, this is the fucking greatest moment of my life right now.
Would this be the exact moment in which you facilitated a impromptu Guido versus Super Crazy match for the next day?
Well, after I got in trouble for jumping on the tables and fucking trying to 5-star frog splash Britt Baker's friends.
Great gals.
Break Gals is worldwide.
MVPs of the J-Lit weekend, I might add.
Oh yeah.
Should we give him a shout out?
No.
Okay.
You can't say him by
That's
name.
it. That's enough.
But I fucking I got in trouble. Almost got kicked out of Nax yet again. And then after that, Gringo Loco, I think, took a picture with Super Crazy and Guido. I took a picture with Super Crazy and Guido, but either somebody did not properly take it on my phone or somebody else took it because I do not have it.
I deleted it.
If you took a picture on your
Fucking
phone of John Thorne, Super Crazy, and Guido, tweet that.
Please send it to me.
Yeah.
But then I talked to them, and I said, I want you guys to wrestle each other tomorrow afternoon. And they said, fucking absolutely. I said, how much money do you guys want to do it? And they said, nothing. Which that story changed. But at that very moment,
Yeah.
they said nothing.
We'll get into that later.
Seemed like the best idea ever. We're gonna have an ECW reunion on the student show, and
It got fucking ruined.
got
But we'll get to
totally
that next
destroyed.
week.
That's
we'll
next
talk
week,
that
though.
next episode. So, who else was at Dr. Dan? Did you go to the Nax?
I did. I was the one that set it up and to go
Yeah,
to
I
the
know.
after party, and I was there. Got a whole, wall to wall. I was actually talking to one of the bartenders today, and she said, "Yeah, it was pretty dead, and we were all getting nervous. And then midnight hit, and we didn't know what hit us.
Fucking
So-
right, dude. The jail weekend hit you.
Yeah, for the fourth
Hey,
time.
at least this time they did have more than 2 bartenders.
Oh, that's good.
And
Good
they
to
had a
hear.
full kitchen, so the food and the alcohol was flowing.
Oh,
now.
that's excellent.
They were prepared.
Thankfully, the headhunters weren't there, thinking it was a personal appearance.
That's always good.
They were sitting in the back corner. It's personal appearance.
But it was great. Pretty much everybody came. Fucking Kevin Thorne was in there, fucking or Mordekai was in there partying with his white ass fucking hair. Fucking everybody was there, like all sorts of fans. These like, I don't want to complain about it, but fans fucking buy me so many fucking drinks at these after parties. I don't know what to do, and it gets me fucking out of control.
You do know that we literally tell people to buy you Tito's multiple times on the show.
But then it gets very overwhelming when I have like 7 drinks in my hand. And there's
Okay,
one
that's
point.
fair.
There was one point I was at a fucking table with Mordekai, and I had 6, I think, Tito's in front of me, and I put all the straws in my mouth, and I think Britt Baker fucking Snapchatted it. I don't know if she saved it, and I just started fucking trying to drink them all at once because I was like, I gotta get rid of these fucking things.
Look, if you guys are buying
pictures of
John
that?
Thorne too many drinks, or if you have pictures of that, there are others of us in AIW.
Like I said
you could
last
buy
week,
us drinks.
Like I said last week, AIW is all about 2.5-star matches, 5-star meet and greets, and a 6-star after party.
That's right.
And that's the AIW motto headed forward.
Everybody knew where to go on this night because we told them all we were staying at America's Best Value. What happened at the hotel? I'm seeing
A lot of chaos.
I am seeing things on Snapchat. I'm going back and forth with Swoggle while Carson and I are with the students, and I'm trying to figure out, hey man, should I show up there? Should I not? What's going on? It's
A lot
about
of things
3:30 in the
allegedly
morning.
happened.
He
I
is
knew not to
asleep.
check my phone. I knew not.
Swoggle.
I never
Swoggle
made
says-
it out of the lobby.
He says everybody went to sleep, and then I find out later that he was just sleeping in a bathtub.
Outside of the parking lot.
No, I made it to the lobby.
We just saw you on the outside of the parking lot.
I was in the lobby.
Oh.
So okay, here's kind of a great story about my really only experience at the hotel on Friday night.
Oh yes. Does this involve a certain?
This involves Little Guido.
Oh, okay.
Little Guido was rooming with Colt Cabana, and Colt Cabana they only gave me one key when we checked all the rooms in, and I didn't make a note of who was in what room, and Colt Cabana was sound asleep.
Right.
And Little Guido goes, I don't know what fucking room I'm in. So I go to the front desk and I said, I need a list of all the rooms that are in my name, which was a lot. And I said, I knew that they were in a non-smoking room. So I said, show me the non-smoking rooms with 2 beds. And they did. And I said, give me keys to every single one of those rooms. So the guy gives me a key to like 7 rooms. And I go, Guido, here's keys to 7 rooms. Open them all till you find Colt Cabana. That's where you're supposed to be.
Which we presume he did.
I assume he did. I don't know. He slept somewhere. Yeah. So I never make it. I find out the next day that everybody decided that they were going to party in my personal room that I had fucking signed.
Fucking Steve guy. Okay. Listen, John Thorne was in the lobby. He told everybody to go up to his room. So we go there. We go there. And we're waiting outside. We thought, someone was already in there. And then the room next door, the door just opens. No, you don't say shoot names, motherfucker.
Well, fucking bleep that.
No, it's like, what are you thinking? Anyway,
Okay,
10 of
this
us.
is where the alleged happens.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, Hornswoggle might have pulled me and Janela aside in a room, and he allegedly might have said, hey guys, Kenny Wang is talking drunk on you guys. Maybe you guys should come stop him.
On you and
Janela.
Swags?
No, on Janela.
Oh.
So I was already mad enough at young Kenny Wang for not wearing my shirt and for cheering for Guido all night. So at this point, I was fired up. I was fired up at just about everything, allegedly. And I decided to go over, take Kenny Wang's back, and allegedly once again. And then Joey Janela just started palm striking him. Allegedly.
What an allegation.
You know, here's the thing. I was respecting.
There's no real witnesses that can corroborate that story, though. Weird.
You know-
so
No.
it's all alleged.
I'm afflicted by this terrible addiction. I am addicted to smoking cigarettes, so I was respecting John Thorne's hotel room and smoking on the back patio.
You were about the only one.
Yeah, just about. And I was respecting it, and I was on that back patio. But then I saw some balderdash going on in there, and I saw Kenny Wayne on his back, and by golly gosh darn, I went in there. I got myself a nice little step over toe hold, and I got myself a figure 4. And that was shortly after.
This is all alleged.
Yes, allegedly.
Allegedly, we did this.
You know.
You did not do any of this.
No, I probably hit it on the wrong legs. We don't got to worry about
You
that.
didn't do shit, brother.
But those things might have happened, and but for some reason, Joey was kicked out of the room, and other people were kicked out
Well,
of the room.
then I decided to
allegedly.
actually be a responsible adult at that point, noticed the alleged errors of my ways, and tried to clear the room out as best I could. And
I just hit on the patio and just had fun with the gals. all
And that's
night.
when everyone went into Thorne's room, and Worldwide and I got separated. Allegedly, there was some separation. Worldwide was in the previous room. I was in Thorne's room.
You had some
allegedly.
really good conversation over there. I heard.
Yeah, brother Trevor was there. He's holding down the fort.
Yeah, Trevor's a good dude.
Yeah. It was fun after party.
You know, I talked to some guys that I thought were friends, but weeks from now we'll find out we're not.
this would all lead into essentially us on a wild goose chase at Back to the Future Cup for Joey Janela.
So I guess shall we roll into night 2, or should we leave that for another?
Yeah,
show?
we'll have to get to that another day. I think.
All right,
this is already a
folks,
long one.
We're gonna try to throw this all in one, but that's gonna wrap it up. That was J-Lit night 1, as you can tell.
Plus the
quite
after party.
eventful, as always. Yeah, well, the whole thing.
Whole night 1.
Yeah, and a little bit of morning of night 2. It turns out. I guess that's how you look at that. Allegedly. We hope you guys.
If you remember J-Lit, you weren't there. That's really the rules.
There you go. The rules of J-Lit weekend. Number 1, not saying no to Guido, and number 2, if you remember it, you weren't really there. Is that about right?
Yeah.
Good. Glad I got that. Okay. Well, that's
6-star after parties.
That is going to do it for this episode of AIW's The Card is Going to Change. On behalf of Brian Carson, Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham, Alex Worldwide Keller, Weird Body Evan Adams, Dominic Garrini, and of course John Thorne. My name is Steve Guy. We'll talk to you guys next week.